fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The sulfuric stench of eternity clung to my leathers, a familiar embrace that had long ceased to bother me. It was the smell of my existence, the scent of duty. Each stride I took towards my post felt heavier than the last, the weight of centuries pressing down on my shoulders. The obsidian keyring, a collection of souls bound to my service, clanked against my thigh, a morbid rhythm, a funeral dirge for the living. Another millennium, another parade of damned suits. I'd lost count of how many smug politicians and silver-tongued lawyers I'd processed through hell's gates, their souls always squirming like eels in a net, realizing with dawning horror that their carefully constructed loopholes meant absolutely nothing here, justice in its purest, most brutal form. But today was different. The throaty rumble of the river Styx, usually a constant, oppressive drone, was muted, almost absent, no wailing, no desperate begging. No endless line of Armani-clad bastards sweating through their tailored shirts, attempting pathetic bargains with a being who'd seen it all before. Just the flickering braziers casting jagged, dancing shadows over the empty obsidian archway. An unsettling stillness had descended upon the gate. I ran a hand through my hair, the strands black as the void between stars, and frowned. Where was the damn cue? It was unnatural. "Hello," my voice echoed, swallowed by the oppressive silence, unanswered. I followed a scent, a delicate anomaly in this realm of decay. Jasmine, wrong, so profoundly, fundamentally wrong for this place. It tugged at something deep within me, a forgotten memory, a phantom ache. The scent led me down a winding path of charred bones, each step crunching under my boots, a grim reminder of the path that led here. And there she was. A woman stood at the edge of the ash fields, her back to me, her silhouette cutting through the hazy smog like a blade forged in starlight. She wore a tattered dress that might have been white once, a pristine canvas now stained with soot and something darker, something that looked suspiciously like blood. Her hair was a cascade of burnt umber, thick and wild, streaked with gold as if she'd stolen strands of sunlight and woven them into its depths. It moved even without a breeze, a subtle, captivating dance. "You're lost, darling," I drawled, leaning against a jagged rock formation, attempting a casual tone that felt forced even to my own ears. Centuries of dealing with the damned hadn't prepared me for this. The VIP damnation lines back that way. Unless you've got a reservation, you're going to be waiting a while. She turned, and hell itself stuttered. The flames flickered, momentarily dimming as if in reverence. Her eyes weren't the dull, lifeless voids I was accustomed to seeing in the damned. They were alive, hazel, flecked with emerald, burning with a fire that didn't belong here, a fire that felt familiar, a fire that threatened to ignite something long dormant within my own soul. "I'm exactly where I need to be, Gatekeeper," she said, her voice a melody that resonated deep within my chest, making my ribs ache with a sensation I hadn't felt in millennia. It wasn't a sound of despair or regret or even defiance. It was peaceful and utterly, devastatingly captivating. "Name's Malachi," I offered, stepping closer, my boots crunching over the ashen ground. The scent of jasmine intensified, swirling around me, intoxicating. "And you are," I needed a name, a classification, something to categorize her, to understand her, but I already knew instinctively that she defied categorization. A slow, knowing smirk played on her lips. It wasn't a cruel smirk or a mocking one, it was patient. "You'll figure it out." She didn't belong here, I knew it with every fiber of my damned soul. The way the flames recoiled when she passed, shrinking back as if afraid to touch her. How the tormented whispers of the pit quieted when she hummed, a soft, ethereal sound that seemed to soothe even the most ancient of agonies. The very air around her felt clean, a blasphemy in this realm of corruption. But when I pressed her, when I demanded answers, she deflected with riddles and a laugh that made my pulse spike, a dangerous, unwelcome acceleration. "Why won't you tell me who you are?" I growled, cornering her in the shadow of the gate, my patience wearing thin. Centuries of authority didn't appreciate being toyed with. She leaned in, her breath warm against my jaw, carrying the scent of jasmine and something else, something ancient and powerful. "Because you already know." Her fingers brushed mine, a fleeting touch, and it was like touching a live wire. A jolt of energy surged through me, and a flash of memory seared through my mind, unbidden and overwhelming. A battlefield bathed in the golden light of dawn, wings of light, vast and glorious, beating against a crimson sky. Her face, haloed in that same dawn, radiant with a power that could shatter worlds, a promise whispered on the wind, a love lost. I recoiled, stumbling backward, my hand flying to my head. The memory was fragmented, distorted, but the emotion was raw, agonizingly real. "You're impossible." Am I? Her gaze locked on mine, unflinching, unwavering. It wasn't a challenge or a taunt, it was recognition. A mirror reflecting a truth I'd buried for centuries. The ground trembled beneath our feet. The sky split, revealing glimpses of a reality beyond hell, a reality I'd thought I'd lost forever. They'd noticed Hell's princes descended in a storm of brimstone and fury, their voices shaking the foundations of the pit. Their forms were monstrous, grotesque parodies of angelic beauty, twisted by millennia of corruption. "She is ours, Gatekeeper," one of them boomed, his voice a grinding avalanche of stone. "Yield her." But she stood tall, her frail human form beginning to glow, a soft, ethereal light that pushed back the shadows. The tattered dress seemed to shimmer, reforming into something more. "Last chance, Malachi," she whispered, her voice now resonating with a power that dwarfed even the princes of hell. "Do you open the gate for them, or for me?" Her disguise melted away, revealing the truth beneath. The arch of feathered wings, vast and magnificent, unfolding behind her, eclipsing the flickering braziers. The divine radiance that scorched my unworthy eyes, a blinding, glorious light, an angel, my angel, the one I'd loved before the fall, the one I'd thought lost to the light forever. Seraphina.